Good morning, Erwin. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning.
Everybody okay by you?
Baruch Hashem.
Good. Good to hear.
Okay.
All right, we'll wait another minute or so and then we'll get started, all right?
Okay, no problem.
Okay, good morning, Bob. How you
Morning, Rabbi.
doing? All right?
Okay.
Good. Very good. Okay. We're going to just be starting on the bottom of Mem Hey, Amud Aleph, is where we got up to. Okay, the last line is where we're picking up. And as far as I have on the Young Israel of Woodmere chart, that's where we're supposed to be today. Okay, so we're right on target. Right? So remember the Gemara has been talking about some other issues besides just heating food. Okay, it moved into the topic of muktzah. And we defined muktzah as something being set aside. And it was clear that the Gemara had two, I guess I would say, concepts identified with muktzah. One was for the mitzvah, that an item that had been used for a particular mitzvah purpose should only be set aside muktzah for that purpose, whether it be an example of decorations for a sukkah, or whether it be examples for lighting a lamp for Shabbat, and that's what meant why it's different, set aside. Okay, or we also found that the Gemara dealt with, morning Ted, that the Gemara also talked about me'us, something that was despicable. And for that reason, it was set aside. Okay? But our focus is primarily on the mitzvah issue. Okay? So that's where we're going to be moving this morning a little bit more. So as I said, we're starting on the bottom of Mem Hey, Amud Aleph, the last line, okay? Where the Gemara had given us a discussion of somebody who had put fruit on the roof of their home, okay, to dry, whether it was grapes to become raisins or something else, and ended with a statement that because we might have thought they did not have to designate it specifically, but since they've done that, it's very possible that their mind took their mind off it, and as a result, therefore, it is considered muktzah. It is considered set aside and not usable. Okay? And so that's where we were finishing up. So we'll continue, as I said, last line, Mem Hey Amud Aleph. By Minei Rav Shimon bar Rabbi. Okay? So Rabbi Shimon, the son of Rabbi, asks his father, Rebbe, asks his father regarding the following question, and we go over now to the top of Amud Beis. Patz ilay tamra. Okay, we're talking about what's called burst or unripe dates. In other words, they've come off the tree, and as a result, on the ground, they're put on the roof, picked up off the ground, put on the roof, so that in the sun, they would continue to ripen. Okay? The Rebbe Shimon Mahu, according to the view of Rebbe Shimon, who does not hold any concept of muktzah, except in dealing with, we said earlier, with either a lit lamp or with regards to the, we said the drying of certain fruit. What's his status? Irvin, I think you need to mute yourself there a little bit, okay? Right? Amar le, he said to them, Ein muksala Rabbi Shimon, ela grogarot v'tzimukin bilvad. That in regards to that example of fruit, okay, only with regards to the process of drying them out, okay, if you will. In that case, changing their status a little bit, where there is that physical act. Okay, right? The Rebbe, Lidle Muktzah. So the Gemara asks, does this mean that Rebbe himself doesn't accept the concept of Muktzah? Vahatnan. But isn't it taught elsewhere in another Mishnah? Okay. Ein Mishakin b'shochtin et hamid bariot. Okay, we do not water, okay, or kill or slaughter any animals that we call midbariot, okay? Let's call that for the moment animals that go out into the wild in the sense that they pasture, okay? All right? Aval mashkin b'shochtin et habaitot, but we do water and slaughter more domestic animals, okay? Batanya, says the Gemara, but a Braita teaches, Elu hein midbariot. These are what we're calling the pasture animals. Kol sheyotzot b'Pesach, all those that go out at the time of Passover, right? V'nichnesot b'Revi'ah, and they come back in, okay, at the beginning of the rainfall, right? Baitot, in regards to domestic animals, kol sheyotzot v'ra'ot chutz l'tchum, all those that go out and they're shepherded, if you will, they graze in the area, a meadow, so to speak, that's just outside the tchum of the community. Ubaot v'lanot b'toch hatchum. But they come back in and they remain overnight, okay, within the limits of the town, okay, within the tchum, Shabbos tchum, remember? 2,000 amah surrounding the town, village, whatever, okay? Now, at this point, Rebbe Omer, Elu ve'elu baitot. He claims that in both cases, these animals would be considered domestic animals. Ve'elu hein midbariot. And these are the animals that instead, okay, we consider to be pasture animals. Okay, kol shira'ot ba'efer. All those that go out to a distant meadow, for example. Ve'ein nichnasot v'yishuv. But they don't come back, okay, into the limits of the town. Lo b'yamot hachama, v'lo b'yamot kshamim. Neither during the time of the sun, in other words, during summer, v'lo b'yamot ha'geshamim, nor during the time of the rainy season, the winter. Now, problem is as follows, okay? Ibayat ema. If you want, we might say as follows. Hani nami kigrogrod v'tzimukim tanya. Okay? Aren't these animals then, these midbariot, that they're out there, couldn't they be similar to the example that we just had of drying figs or drying grapes to become raisins? Namely, you could forget about them, all right? Or put them out of your mind. And therefore, okay, we would say that they would be muktzah, right? V'ibayat ema. And if you want, we could perhaps raise the following. L'dvarav de Rabbi Shimon ka'amarle. That in this case, Rebbe was really answering his son, Rabbi Shimon ben Gamliel, according to the Shita of Rabbi Shimon. okay, who said, since he removed them from his mindset, therefore, in that case, they considered muktzah, right? Valei, but according to Rebbe himself, lo savirale, that he doesn't hold like that from Rabbi Shimon, but instead it would imply that Rebbe holds that he does accept muktzah like Rabbi Yehuda. Okay? Ve'ibayetema, or if you want, I could give an alternative answer and say the following: the divreihem de Rabbanan, namely that he was answering his son according to the view of the rabbis. Ka'amar lahu. That's how he answered him. L'didi, according to Rebbe himself, litlei muktzah klal, that I don't also hold the concept of muktzah whatsoever. L'didcho, but according to you, namely the rabbis, oduli mihat dehechadiyot ot b'Pesach v'nichnasot b'Reviyah the baitot ninu, that according to that view, at least acknowledge that when we talk about animals that we consider to be pasture animals, that they go out at Pesach and that they don't come back till the first rainfall, as I defined them, right? That those would still be considered domestic animals. Rabbanan amrule, but the rabbis responded and they answered him, lo, midbariot minhu. No, we consider those pasture animals, okay? And therefore they don't agree. So we really don't know for sure at this point what position Rebbe takes. Does he really hold like Rebbe Shimon, that there is no concept per se here of muktzah, unless we see that the person has totally put them out of their mindset, okay? Or does he hold like Rabbi Yehuda? So Gemara has to continue. Amar Rabba bar Bar Chana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan, with a new part of the sugya, trying to clarify, well, what about the position of Rabbi Yochanan? After all, he was a first generation Amora and Eretz Yisrael, but remember, he had been a student of Rebbe's. Amru halacha ka Rebbe Shimon. It would seem, he says, that they, namely the Chachamim, right, this, okay, ruled that the law was like Rebbe Shimon. So Gemara asks, Mi amar Rabbi Yochanan hachi? Did Rabbi Yochanan really say that? Was that really his view? V'haba'emine hahu saba kruya. But he was asked a question by a certain elder from Kruya. Va'amrila Sruya. Others say he came from Sruya. And this is what he asked Rabbi Yochanan. Kena, okay, a hen's roost or a hen's nest, shel tarnagolet. Mahu letiltule b'Shabbat. What about carrying that, handling it on the Shabbat? Amarle, he answered Rabbi Yochanan, klum asui ela letarnagolim, answered with a question, okay, right? Namely, was this hen's nest, roost, was it only made for the hens? Therefore, what kind of a situation is this that we're asking about? Okay? To eat be efroach mate. Okay? Because in this hen's roost, okay, hen's nest, there was a dead bird, a dead chick. Okay? If that's the case, the Gemara comes and then tells us, Hanechelaman lemar bar amemar. That's understandable then, according to the view of Mar bar amemar, Mishmei Derav, who's, okay, the Amar, all right, in the name of, actually it should be Rabbah, okay, and not Rav here, who says as follows, the Amar Modeh Haya Rabbi Shimon Ba'alei Chaim Shemetu She'asurin, that in this particular example, if we're talking about a dead chick in the hen's nest, hen's roost, Rabbi Shimon would acknowledge that because of that, any carrying of that roost would be forbidden. Okay? Right? Ela Lamar Bereda Rav Yosef, but according to Mar, the son of Rav Yosef, Mishmei de Rava, in the name of Rava, the Amar Chaluk Haya Rabbi Shimon, who claimed that Rabbi Shimon would make a difference in respect to living creatures that died, okay, and that they would be permitted, right? Mutarim, Mai Ikalamema, what is there to say, right? Hacha b'mai eskina. So what are we dealing with here? Okay. B'deit be beitza. Okay. That we actually have an egg that was laid on Shabbos. Okay. Some want to say that the egg contains a chick. And since the egg contains a chick, okay, it's certainly not viable for human consumption. And as a result, the individual would certainly not be able to say that it's mukhan, that it's available or ready to be used, okay, for Shabbos or for Yom Tov, but particularly since the egg was laid on Shabbos. V'hamar Rav Nachman, and didn't Rav Nachman then say in this regard, okay, man de itle muktzah, itle nolad, whoever holds by the prohibition of muktzah also accepts the prohibition of nolad. Delete lane muktzah, one who doesn't hold by the prohibition of muktzah, lit lane nolad, does not hold by nolad. Okay? The eat beitzat efroach, and that is in this case where we say the egg actually had a baby bird in it. Okay? And therefore the egg is unfit to be eaten, and the nest cannot be handled, roost can't be handled on Shabbat. Okay, let's go on now. Still, by the way, notice we don't have a decision as to what Rabbi Yochanan is saying. And so let's proceed with the next part of the Gemara. Right? Ki ata Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef, when Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef came, okay, from Palestine, from Eretz Yisrael to Babylonia, okay, and he had been also Talmid of Rabbi Yochanan, okay, now what does he tell us? Amar Rabbi Yochanan, halacha ka Rabbi Yehuda, that the law is like Rabbi Yehuda. On the other hand, Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi Amar, halacha ka Rabbi Shimon, that Rabbi Yehoshua ben Levi said, or at least claimed, that perhaps Rabbi Yochanan had said the law was like Rabbi Shimon. Now, here's where we get some specific addressing of this issue. Amar Rav Yosef, Hainu da Amar Rava bar bar Chana, Amar Rabbi Yochanan. This is why then Rabba bar bar Chana said in the name of Rabbi Yochanan, Amru halacha ka Rabbi Shimon, that he said that, claimed that the law was like Rabbi Shimon, right? Amrule, okay, but they said, right? In other words, others said, but Amru, they said, V'lei, and according to him, according to Rabbi Yochanan, lo svirale, that Rabbi Yochanan didn't hold that way. Okay? Amar le Abai the Rav Yosef. And so Abai then said to Rav Yosef the following, right? Va'at lo tispara de Rabbi Yochanan ke Rabbi Yehuda. Aren't you of the opinion that Rabbi Yochanan must have held according to Rabbi Yehuda? Okay, that he held that position even before we heard it previously from Rabbi Yitzchak. Okay. Ha, Rab Abba v'Rabbi Asi, ikla ula be Rabbi Abba. Right? There was a situation, however, where we see the following, that Rabbi Abba and Rabbi Asi, the two of them happened to visit Rabbi Abba Asi, right? They went to visit, okay? Right? Rabbi Abba the Min Haifa. They went to visit Rabbi Abba in Haifa. And what happened? V'nafal menarta al glime Rabbi Asi. And there was a situation where a metal candelabra fell on the cloak or on the robe of Rabbi Asi, right? Velo tiltala, and he did not remove it. He did not pick it up, okay, to move it. Now, the assumption is, right, my Tama, what's the reasoning? Lav mishum de Rabbi Asi, Talmidei de Rabbi Yochanan Hava? Was it not the fact that we could have say that since Rabbi Asi was a student of Rabbi Yochanan, that's why he didn't move it. And as a result, that would seem to tell us that therefore Rabbi Yochanan must have held like Rabbi Yehuda, okay, that he did believe and accept the concept of muksa, right? Maybe that's the point, okay? The Rabbi Yochanan ka Rabbi Yehuda sfirale, de itle muksa. Precisely that Rabbi Yochanan must be like Rabbi Yehuda, and he must be of the opinion that he accepts muktzah. Okay? Now, Rav Yosef, however, okay, we see is going to respond. Amar le menarta ka'amrat. You're talking about a metal candelabra. Okay? Menarta shani. That kind of metal candelabra, however, is different. It's in a unique situation, a unique case, right? Why? The Amar Rabbi Acha Bar Chanina, Amar Rabbi Asi, okay? That Rabbi Chanina, Abba Bar Chanina, this said in Rabbi Asi's name, right? Hora Reish Lakish, that Reish Lakish once gave an actual ruling, but Sidon, in the city of Sidon, menorah hanitelet biyado echat, a metal candelabra that could be lifted with one hand, mutar letaltala. It's permitted to carry it, to move it. B'shtei yadav, with two hands, asur letaltala. It's forbidden to move it. The Rabbi Yochanan Amar, anu Eim lanu ela bener ka Rabbi Shimon. But Rabbi Yochanan said, in terms of our view, okay, we do not hold except parallel to that of a lamp, vis-a-vis the view of Rabbi Shimon. Okay? Aval menorah, but in regards to a candelabrum, bein nitla biyado echat, bein nitla b'shtei yadav, asur letaltala. But in regards to that candelabrum, whether one can, so to speak, lift it with one hand or lift it with two hands, it is forbidden to be moved. And what's the reasoning? Rava v'Rav Yosef the Amrei Travayu. Why? Because Rabba and Rav Yosef both say, right? Ho'il va'adam kovea lamakom, since in a candelabrum is usually a larger item, and therefore it has usually a fixed place in a home, right? Because one has established a fixed place for it in their home, right? Now, Abai responds, Amar le Abai le Rav Yosef. So he says to them, wait a minute. You're saying because it has a fixed place, it can't be moved whatsoever on Shabbat? V'harei kilat chatanim. Well, what about some sort of a bridal bed, or a bridal canopy, a bed that has this kind of, right? Adam kovea makom, that a person usually has a special set place for it in their home. What about that? All right, even if it doesn't have the canopy on it, right? V'amar Shmuel mishum Rabbi Chia kilat chatanim, as we'll go over. So Shmuel, in the name of Rabbi Chia, all right, a bridal couch or a bridal bed with or even without the canopy, right? Mutar lintota, mutar lefarka b'Shabbat. Do we say that it's permissible to set it up or to take it down on a Shabbos? Ela amar Abaye. But rather Abaye says, what we're talking about, the kind of menorah, candelabra that we're talking about, is really b'shel chuliot, that it's one that's collapsible because it's made from joints, right? Movable joints. Ihachi. If that's the case, then what is the reason, as we start a couple lines down on Mem Vav for a little bit today, okay, that he says that it's permitted? Mai chuliot. So what do we mean by that this candelabra has joints? Right? Ke'ein chuliot. Okay, it's as if it has joints. Namely, it's more like it has some sort of grooves. The itba chidke, that it has these grooves that can be assembled and disassembled, right? Hilkach, therefore, okay, chuliot, bein gedola, bein ktana, asura letaltala. Okay, if it has these joints, regardless of whether it is a large candelabra that has these grooves or a smaller one, okay, it may not be handled, right? Gedola, nami de'it bachitke, and even a large one that has these grooves, gezera atu gedola dechuliot. There's a decree that one can't handle it lest one handle a large one with these joints. Okay? So the Gemara asks, okay, hi plige, where do they disagree? B'katana de'it ba'chitke. They disagree with a smaller grooved candelabra. Okay? Namely, Mar Savar Gazrinan, Mar Savar Lo Gazrinan. One master holds that we do make the Gzera, okay? But why? Because it might get confused with a jointed candelabra. And the other master holds that we don't make the Gzera. And therefore, that it's the halacha like Rabbi Yehuda, and therefore automatically it would be considered forbidden. Okay, and I think that tomorrow is Mem Vav, it's 46, and we'll pick up there tomorrow at this point. Okay, So we'll stop right there and wish everybody a good day, even though we haven't found out yet what Rabbi Yochanan's actual position is, whether it's like Rabbi Shimon or Rabbi Yehuda. And as they say, tune in tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
Okay.
Take
Okay,
care.
thank you. Have a good day.
Good day, everybody.